Hi everyone, Terry Ronan from Social How To Media here. Thanks very much for taking the time to view this brief video. I'm the guy on the right hand side and my business partner Chris Van is the guy on the left hand side in the photo. So before we jump into it, I've just got a brief question for you. What is now your biggest question with online marketing? So if you had one question around online marketing and getting your brand out there through obviously all the internet and social media channels and so on, what's your biggest question? Now you may find it could be time. How do I find the time to make all this work and get my brand online and connecting with customers? For others it could be, how does this attract customers? How do I generate sales using online marketing? For others it could be where to start. I'm not quite sure where to start. Do I start with a website or do I start with social media or database? Where do I start? And for others it can be just confusion where it all seems a bit too difficult, or just or it could be a combination of all those questions, so you just don't bother doing anything. So just imagine this scenario just for a second. What if you had all your online marketing taken care of on a daily basis? You had someone there managing all the strategies, pointing you in the right direction where to go, and getting your brand connected with potential customers. This marketing was going to be connecting, communicating, and driving more and more customers back to your business now. And what if all of a sudden your business was being found in all places throughout the internet? Just people just not finding your website, but they're finding you across social media or through databases. Suddenly your brand was connecting to thousands of more potential customers. It may sound like a stretch. However, Chris and I have worked with hundreds of businesses over the last few years, and we've just through our consulting and training, and we know these strategies are available and they do work because we've been using them for a couple of years now with a lot of different industries. We've created tens of thousands of likes and reached literally over 250,000 people for our clients just through Facebook alone, outside of all the other opportunities out there online. And we've helped clients generate tens of thousands of dollars in sales using unique online strategies and systems. So, do you know the biggest single contributor to this success, this online success? Quite simply, it's a system. It's about creating a powerful online marketing system. We've used this system, like I said, across a lot of different industries, whether it's been a fast food chain, real estate agents, it could be events, it could be a retail, it could be a service industry, it could be like a internet provider, shire councils, you name it. We've used it across a number of different kind of industries. So we know the system, it works. It's a robust and it's a proven approach. So everyone knows a system works, right? When you think about it, McDonald's is a great example of a system that works. More and more companies are realizing now, whether it's a sales system, whether it's a system around manufacturing or a service, whatever it might be, more and more companies are now aware that using a system and a well thought out and true and tried system really does work. When you use a system in marketing, you eliminate one major problem that most businesses tend to rely on, and that is hope. Hope it'll work. I'm not sure what you do currently with your marketing and advertising, but a lot of the time it's down to just, we'll do that and hope it works. There's no real strategy, no real long-term approach to it. And to be honest, a lot of offline marketing, there's no way of tracking the results. Online marketing, the beauty of that, you can track everything. You can see whether people are searching for brands and products and what results are coming from that, and also what needs to be changed. So let me show you a simple system. So here's the system. Now this is basically a very brief overview of a system that we use for many of our clients. So essentially here you have the core business. And this is where the core marketing strategy starts. And as I mentioned before, you use all the social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube. They're essentially the main four. they're the most powerful. Obviously there's plenty of others out there, and sometimes we do delve into them depending on the industry. However, these are the main four. Then inside that we create other systems within inside each of these social platforms about, for example, you want to create a conversation. It's about creating an offer also, building some recommendations, what we call social proof, and getting some good customer feedback on your service or product. So through social media, it's essentially a two-way communication. It can be very powerful when used correctly. Then obviously you have your website. Now a website we look at as kind of the anchor, I guess, and everything starts to build off that website. A website can be great when used correctly. However, a lot of people, when you create a website, they make it more like a one-way street where people can see the information but you can't communicate with them back. And this is where social media is really powerful. You can communicate back and forwards with your customers at any time and really start to build what we mentioned before, that conversation and that relationship online. And then it's about creating a powerful offer. And we'll get into that in the next video. We'll show you how to create a powerful offer that certainly starts to drive the system and starts driving people back to your brand and ultimately back to generating sales. And we're very big fans of building a database. And we'll also show you how to use this system to start to build a database of really strong potential buying clients. And then also we'll work with your offline marketing and show you some really unique and powerful strategies that we use with offline marketing to help bring people back online so we can start tracking and measuring that information and ultimately start building that database. So that's just a little bit of a brief overview on what a system can do for your business. I hope it's been helpful. I look forward to the opportunity of chatting with you in the near future. Keep an eye out for the next video, and good luck in the future. Thanks very much. Bye.